So the remaining part of the video where QUEENMAY Edochie case manager talk about May nations and also talk about Juju Ekwensu cohorts also. They now carry come here because I said I'm going to bring all the videos for all of you to watch. I cannot bring it once, but I needed to bring it one after the other so that you guys can watch and deliberate on the issues. Okay, this thing heavy. Okay, there are some parts where he mentioned about those persons who go to Basbos Yul Edochie, you know. He said a whole lot of things about those persons that are Basbosing Yul, that they are not doing anything good for May. I will come in later, you know, because I want to deliberate in the areas of those that are Basbosing you, because Yul is the one that is giving ground for people to Basbos him, okay? You don't expect a person who came out and said he loves drama. Like Yul, he said he loves drama. He loves to be talked about. So how can such person go and file a lawsuit against someone? Because he came out on his own, on the media space and said he loves to be talked about. So a person that came out to say publicly that he loves to be talked about on his own verified platform, saying that he loves to be talked about, cannot sue anybody, to my own best of knowledge, because you already said you like it, you love it when they talk. He did not even say like, he said he loves to be talked about and that he loves drama. So a person who came out to say he loves drama and he loves to be talked about, what do you expect? When people start talking about you, you have already made it clear, and those persons can even use your words to tell them in court that you said that you love to be talked about. Okay, so I don't think May Edochie's case, May is not talking, but in the areas of Yul, he is talking. Okay, just like what he wrote today, he said he loves, I said everybody loves him. When you say my people love me, my fans love me, is a different thing. But when you say everybody loves you, I can come out and oppose you and say no, I don't like you. It's not like I hate you, but I don't like your attitude. Yes, because you place it on the media, and being a famous person, you expect that from everybody. You expect that from us. That's the truth. Okay, so right about now, I want you all to first of all listen to what QUEENMAY Edochie case manager said before I'll come back with my own. All right, now listen to him.
I can tell you without any doubts that if your defense for attacking May or defaming May is because somebody defamed somebody else, it is not a defense in law. It's not possible. No court in this world will allow you to say that you defamed a person because somebody else defamed somebody else. So there is, what is going on now is something terrible. And I will also tell you something. It is so easy for anybody to claim to be May Nation. An enemy of May can claim to be May Nation because they don't have an office, they don't have registration, you don't have a way of knowing who is May Nation or who is not a May Nation. We saw a man, a young man, who initially, when this controversy started, he began to attack May. Because for him, he's a polygamist. He believed in polygamy. He was writing everywhere for polygamy. But each time he did so, he was criticized by people who were sympathetic with May. So he wasn't getting popular enough. Supporting you against May was not profitable for him. That young man one day rose up and changed and began to criticize May, Yul and Judy. He just switched side. So he became May Nation. Immediately he called himself May Nation. But for us, we don't look at what you call yourself, we look at your activities. We look at the activities of these people. So you got to understand, don't make that mistake, because we can see a high level of ignorance among those who are involved in these controversies. I have heard them argue that May Nation are bullying you, therefore let us bully May. That is the fundamental miscalculation anybody could make. It's not even logical to you, really. So, don't try to hold May responsible for May Nation. First and foremost, we don't know who the May Nation are. We can only see individuals when they act. If a person does the right thing and says he's supporting May, yeah, we take note of that. That's the right thing. He's indeed supporting May. But merely calling yourself May Nation doesn't tell us whether you support us or not. And also, let me tell you something, which is very important. If you go out there and you start fabricating stories against you, or do anything outside the bounds of law against you, you're not acting in the interest of men. First and foremost, if you want to act in the interest of somebody, you have to ask yourself, what does the person want? Absolutely. If you want to say you are acting for May, you have to first of all ask yourself, what does May want? Please, May doesn't want some of those things you think she wanted. May came to our office at the beginning of this case. We analyzed the case. We said, ma'am, your husband committed bigamy. Even if not vigorously enforced, we want to put it on record that he committed bigamy. She asked us, what does that mean? We said, well, bigamy is a criminal offense. Your husband will be invited and probably arrested by the police and investigated. She said, no. We said, why not? She said, no. So, May's interest is not to harm you. May's interest is not to embarrass you. So if you go there and think that if you hit you are pleasing May, that is inconsistent with the instructions we have. She has not, at any point in time, ever told us, go out there, hurt this person, hurt this person. On the contrary, if we move aggressively, she will restrain us. She wants peace. May wants to develop her businesses, her brands, and her career in the entertainment industry, which you all are seeing unfolding. She has exhibited extraordinary intelligence and maturity. She knows that it is not in her interest to get embroiled in unnecessary controversies. Many people are trying to make themselves popular by telling all manner of stories. You see people who will come in and say, oh, polygamy is great, it's our culture. You can say that. That's really not May's argument. May is not out to abolish polygamy. That's not her goal. If you want polygamy, if it's good for you, May wants you to live the way you like. She only made a decision, and that decision is personal decision. She doesn't want to be part of polygamy. She doesn't say that women should not go for polygamy. She doesn't say that men should not go for polygamy. She doesn't say that Igbos and their traditions and polygamy. May is quite more narrow. To tell you the truth, DPA is much broader than May on that, because DPA is against polygamy generally. May is not against polygamy generally. She's only against her own case. She doesn't want to be in this marriage because it is polygamous. She doesn't want to be in a marriage that will involve another woman. The marriage May wanted, the marriage she signed up to, the marriage she agreed to was a marriage of one man, one woman. Her and her husband. That is it. May's idea of family, the nuclear family, is her husband, and their children. All these additions and things you are piling up, she says, no, I don't want to be part of it. She has right. Think about it. She has right. She has the right to say, no, I don't want to be part of this. And remember, if you ask me, and if you recall, the statement, the most serious statement May ever made to you and Judy was when she said, God will judge you. That was the only thing negative, you may say, that May ever said to you, and Judy. May has never come out abusing them. That one word or one sentence, God will judge you. She said it in response to her husband, who suddenly and secretly said, I'm a proud polygamist. How will you feel? You're a woman. How will you feel one day you read in social media that your husband is a proud polygamist? How will you feel? All right. How will you feel if you're a parent and you read your son-in-law, the husband of your daughter, saying, I'm a proud polygamist? It was not discussed. It was not mentioned. There was no consultation. There was no attempt to even consider how she felt. And when that happened, all she said was, God will judge you. That was all she said. So now, if you come now and say, Yul is a criminal, Yul is this, Yul is this, you are not representing May. That's not May's position. May has never said those things. May is not interested in demonizing you. May understands that regardless of what happens between her and you will remain the father of her children. She understands that very well. And that is why she has always been very reluctant to even let us do things. Even common applications we can file. Even some of the obvious things we can do. May doesn't want us to do that if it is likely to embarrass you. So, how can you think that May is responsible for abuse on you? How can you now tell May to go out there and start telling people, no, don't criticize him. Don't criticize him. Does that make sense to you? That means that she has accepted what he did. So, I'm saying this because we have crossed that point. We've crossed the point of peace. We've crossed what I mean point of peace. I'm not talking of May and you. May maintains her position. It's a principled position. She's not going to change. She doesn't want polygamy, but she doesn't want you dead. She doesn't want polygamy, but she doesn't wish anything bad to you. Indeed, if May had her wishes, she wants you to be doing well so he can pay child support and school fees of children. I'm sure if you go to May now and ask her, what do you want? Do you want you to succeed in his business or to fail in his business? May will say, I want him to succeed in his business. Because May understands that you, if he succeeds, will be in a position to pay school fees of his children. So you got to get these things. If you get angry for what you and Judy did, you are justified. Everybody, many people were disappointed. Including us, we are disappointed. But that doesn't mean that we want you dead. That doesn't mean that we want to disgrace you. We have shown principle. May has been principled. We have been principled. You recall when the case of Obasi came up. We refused to represent Obasi. We did not want to represent Obasi while representing May, because Obasi's interests are not the same as May's interests. Indeed, their interests could conflict. And that is because we are looking at these things from the broader perspective of law. Many of you are seeing this as a social media fight. You are looking for content materials, things you would need to have a good content and increase your engagement. That's what many of you are doing. No, that's different from what we're doing. For you, it may be a social media battle. For us, it is a legal controversy, which must be ventilated within the bounds of law. So we refuse to represent Obasi. Otherwise, if we were interested, we would have taken Obasi's case, we would have filed a lawsuit against Judy, we would have tried to force Judy to give Obasi access. We would have, in the case of representing Obasi, we would have opened an inquiry, an investigation into the timing when Judy met you. Whether she was married when she met, whether she was still married to Obashi when she met you. Whether she committed adultery with you. We never went into that. DPA never showed interest in the dates and timing when Judy left Obashi. Because we're not interested in trying to establish whether you committed adultery or not. Whether Judy was still with Obashi when she met you. All these are possible if we were mischievous people, if we were interested in content, if we were just interested in embarrassing you. Very simple. Very simple. What we needed to do is take on Obashi's case, file lawsuit, and drag you into it. In fact, if we want to be mischievous, we'll represent Obashi. And while suing that representing him, we will drag you in from several angles. We can drag him in from on the notion that he caused the break of the marriage between Obashi and Judy. We can try that. Or we can say, now that she is living with Judy, he is involved in denying Obashi access to his children. We could come in from that angle. But we are not interested in embarrassing you. That was why we refused to represent Obashi. We had the opportunity to represent Obashi. We said no. So you got to understand that what is going on. Okay? So I have touched on many things. Do not think that because somebody calls himself May Nation, that person is working for me. No. On the contrary, we have seen many people who are hostile to me, but who decided to infiltrate that imaginary organization called May Nation. Many have contacted us. Oh, I am from May Nation. I want to help you. I want to do this. They offer us all kind of help. We say no. Some even offered us money. We say no. Because we know that once we accept money from them or go into conversations with them concerning money, they will make it content. They are all looking for content. 90% of people you see there are looking for content. And I want to say something that will interest you too. Many of the people supposedly fighting for Yul and Judy are just content creators. Yul did not hire them. We know those ones that had established direct contact with Judy or you, and those who are just out there creating content. We know them. So we have reached a point where we said, listen, a bad thing doesn't end unless you put a fight to it. Can you imagine? Let me explain this to you in a way you will understand. Let us say people created an Appian way behind your window. Instead of taking the proper route to the stream, they are now passing through your window, by your window to go to the stream. If you come out there and shout, hey, hey, don't come, don't use this Appian way, they will keep using that Appian way. But if one morning they come and see you sitting on that Appian way with your machete in your hand, you don't need to talk to them. When they see you sitting there with a machete, they will turn back. So sometimes talking to people will not get it. Because the argument they are spewing, the extreme malevolence, the evil, the vile things they say, even when they are not done attacking me, or they are done attacking me, they will start attacking us, the lawyers. We reached a point where we had to act. That was why we acted. We acted in the manner we did last 2 weeks, resulting in the arrest of somebody. The manner in which he was arrested was very dramatic on purpose. Because we want to prove a point. Prove the hypocrisy. All these people talking on social media are creating content. They don't mean what they're saying. They know what they're saying is wrong. We acted. But even when we acted like civilized people. I know the pressure was there to have him detained, get a remand, keep him in prison. The pressure was there. But why would we do that? We are not governed by your content desire. You are looking for content. You want to wake up in one morning and write something? That's what matters to you? No. We are looking beyond that. We didn't want somebody detained in a manner that would violate his rights. We made a point. We succeeded in making that point. And we brought an awareness from law enforcement authorities to start investigation. The investigation is ongoing. We had nothing to gain having him detained.
Now, wow.
If he is detained and remanded in prison now, what will be my explanation? What will be my... If my friends call me from Washington, or if I return to my office in Maryland next 2 weeks, and somebody says, why did you keep the guy in detention? What will I tell him? I will tell him, hey, I want to show him. I want to prove to him. What do I have to prove to him? What? We're not that way. We understand the complex human nature that is fueling these problems. A lot of these people attacking me are very poor people, very miserable, idle people. They don't have serious work. We know that. We understand that. So there's nothing to gain having somebody detained. So, but on the other hand, we cannot fold our arms. That is why we have decided now to pursue civil cases against several people. Several people. And guess what? When we sue you, it's not out of bitterness or anger or no. You made a statement which is false. And you are not honorable enough to stop. You are not honorable enough to admit that, oh, I was wrong. You are pushing it. So it's going to cost us effort, little effort, to bring you to court. And they'll ask you the question. Very simple question. Is this woman HIV positive as you said? No, she's not. Why did you say it? Oh, well, they said, some people said. That's a big mistake. So, for those of you who are unsure, who are contemplating where to go, I want you to know there's nothing to benefit in defaming somebody. There's nothing to benefit in defaming Queen May. Particularly Queen May. You know why? Because you cannot find a justification for defaming her. She did not commit adultery. She did not commit bigamy. She did not abuse anybody. She did not abuse you. You will have no reason. So when the court looks at you and asks you very well, we have seen what you wrote. Why did you write it? What will you say? What will you say? That is what you have to do. So, and for those of you who are making content, you can actually make content with good things. After all, there are people who make content with prayer points. They wake up in the morning and pray. After praying, they say, if you support, say amen. 1,000 people will say amen. That is content. That is engagement. You don't have to defame a person to create engagement. All right? And for the avoidance of doubt, I want to re-emphasize, not calling yourself Queen May Nation doesn't mean we will lift our gate for you to cross. We're going to look at your actions, and if your action is detrimental to our client's interest, we will not give you a pass. We'll block you. Okay? If you are men, if you call yourself, because if you are a serious supporter of men, you will not do anything against the May's interest. For instance, you can't begin to attack May's lawyers. May has confidence in her lawyers. If she doesn't have confidence in them, she knows what to do. Just a phone call. She doesn't even need to go far. A phone call, a text message, dear DP, thank you for your services, but henceforth I want you to cease. No argument. We will surrender our role. So now, if you call yourself a supporter of May and you are trying to put pressure on May's lawyer so that May's lawyers will begin to do what you like, that's absolute madness. That's stupidity, to say the least. We are not going to do what you like. We are not going to give you the content you want. Indeed, we suspect you. When you pressure us like that, we suspect your motive. The lawyers will say to themselves, watch this guy, watch this guy. He may be calling himself May Nation, but you don't know that we are watching you. You are troublesome.
So now I want to drop my 2 cents. Just like the way, if not because so many persons are coming out, I just don't want some persons to take it personal, okay? If not because so many of us came out to speak for May, these people were ready to win this case, and they would have won. If not because many of us came up to speak for May, today it would have been a different ball game. That's just the truth. If not because many of us, especially me, let me just speak for myself, if not because I was coming out back to back, these people were already gaining ground. Because imagine if Juju Austin could use Sarah Martins to go to a very bigger platform, which is the platform of Daddy Freeze, and everybody just fold their hands. Whether you like it or not, early 2022, so many persons were even standing for Juju Austin more than Queen May. Yes, it is because of our consistency in this case that has made it get to the way it is right now, okay? So I'm just trying to use this media to talk to May nations, those persons that are really genuinely supporting May. Please do not take it personal, okay, as to what the case manager is saying. Because I know that they are trying to save Queen May Edochie from whatever thing that you or Juju Austin might be trying to use against them in court, all right? You, Edochie, is the person that is instigating all of these basketballs that is on the media. He brought it to the media. As a matter of fact, every single day, the man has something to put out on the media space because he wants to be talked about. Just like I said, he said he loves to be talked about. So you don't expect people not to talk about him. People will talk about him because he is the one that is putting it out on the media for people to talk about him. So if the man says he loves to be talked about, he loves drama, so he should be expecting more of the drama. Unlike Queen May did not come out to say she liked drama. She even said that she wanted them to take the matter off the media. That was what she said in 2022. Okay, but the man kept on bringing it to the media, him and Juju Austin. So people will definitely interfere. If he doesn't want people to interfere, he will take it out of the media. But since he's constantly bringing themselves to the media, when they lost their son, he was on the media with Juju Austin. You know, he came out to talk about May Edochie doing her boobs. He came out saying that the May should drop her son name. So people will interfere in these very areas. So that's why we are talking. Okay, it's not like May Edochie ask anybody to speak for her, but we are speaking because we see that what Yul Edochie is doing is completely wrong. And if we continue to condone such, people will continue to do it. Look at Two-Face Idibia now, going into another relationship and wanting to marry that person without divorcing his wife. Just like what Yu has done. Even though we know that May Edochie is the one that has said she doesn't want him to be arrested, but still they still paint her bad on the media space. They still paint her black on the media space, even though she has said it, as she stated it to the case manager that she doesn't want him to be arrested. But still, they are still peddling evil things against her, lying that the woman is the one that has destroyed the man, saying that the woman has no good character. That was why the man left for Juju Austin. So all these things, people with good conscience, when they see it, they will definitely interfere. They will definitely want to support Queen May Edochie. So I just want May nations, for many of you that are watching me, please do not feel bad. Continue with your support for Queen May Edochie. All right, guys. So I am Patience Blogs. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Patience Blogs Official. Bye, people.